I never planned on telling anyone this story because for a long time I didn't even realize it was a story. It felt more like a quiet moment that should have been forgotten, but that one moment kept me alive. I was 27 and completely burned out. Not in a dramatic way, no shouting, no breakdowns, just exhausted down to my bones. I worked a job I hated, came home to an apartment that felt like a storage unit for a life I wasn't living, and repeated the same routine every day. Wake up tired, go to work numb, come home empty, sleep just enough to do it again. That night I sat in my car outside a grocery store parking lot for almost an hour. I hadn't gone in, I wasn't crying. I was just sitting there, hands on the steering wheel, staring at nothing. My phone was face down on the passenger seat. I'd turned off notifications weeks earlier because hearing from people felt like a burden. I remember thinking, if this is all life is, I don't know how long I can keep doing it. I didn't want to die. That's the scary part. I just didn't want to exist like this anymore. Eventually, I forced myself out of the car and went inside. I grabbed random things, bread, soup, something frozen, nothing I actually wanted. As I stood in line, barely aware of my surroundings, the cashier looked at me and smiled. Not a polite customer service smile, a real one. Long day? He asked casually, like he genuinely cared about the answer. Something about that question cracked me. I shrugged and said, yeah, kinda. He nodded and said, I get it. Just so you know you made it through today, that counts for something. That was it, no speech, no advice, no dramatic moment, but my chest tightened and I had to look away because my eyes suddenly burned. No one had acknowledged me like that in months. Not my boss, not my friends, not even myself. I paid, mumbled thanks and walked out. I sat back in my car and just breathed. For the first time in weeks, my thoughts slowed down. I wasn't cured, I wasn't suddenly happy, but the idea that today counted stuck with me. That stranger had no idea I'd been sitting in that parking lot wondering if I could keep going. He didn't know I hadn't eaten a real meal in days or that I felt invisible in my own life. He just saw a tired guy and chose kindness. That night, instead of going straight to bed, I ate the soup. I texted one friend. Just, hey, are you up? Nothing deep. The next day, I went to work and quietly looked up therapy options on my lunch break. A week later, I scheduled an appointment. My life didn't magically change overnight, but it shifted. Slowly, carefully, one decision at a time. I never saw that cashier again. I don't know his name. He'll never know that a few ordinary words kept someone alive, but I know. And now, whenever I see someone who looks tired in that same quiet way, I ask them one simple question, long day, because sometimes that's enough to remind someone that today still counts.